Welcome to this week's Dirt Shed Show.
Yes, this week we're going to try and improve our mountain bike skills, making some simple changes and looking at some things you definitely shouldn't do. And we're going to have help from none other than Tracy Moseley.
Plus, we've got a massive over the bars from Sam Pilgrim. We've got a banging new hardtail from Canyon, the Grand Canyon on. Plus, Michael Kosing sending his hand bike. Some competition there, Martyn.
Competition? No, I could have done that. But I do love seeing the adaptive riders taking on the trails. It's pretty cool.
Martyn, I've got a question for you. Have you got any sort of hidden talents?
I'm an amazing juggler.
Amazing.
Amazing.
That's it.
Can I try again?
Juggle, really good.
Yes!
Oh, almost.
Go on.
I don't know where you're supposed to look.
Are you any better than that?
I'm trying to... In the camera.
Okay, we've got a packed show, but before we get into it, let's talk about our mission from this show, to get better using something simple and talk about things you just can't do.
Yeah, improving your riding, and it couldn't be easier this week, Neil, because we've got Tracy. And Tracy, right, let me list out these results. You've got World Cup Downhill Champion overall. You've got World Title Downhill, so World Champs jersey, all the medals, and 3 times EWS champion. 3 times, hey?
Yeah, but before
Unreal.
Tracy gets into it, I'll talk about a day, because me and Blake did a day training with Nino Schurter. Nino 9-time, I think it is, 9 times world champion. And it takes blood, sweat and tears and a bit of vomiting, if it's anything like that day.
Tracy, who's the toughest person you've ever trained with?
I think right now trying to train with any of the professional athletes out there's pretty damn hard when you get old and unfit.
Yeah.
But I think probably seeing Evie train at home on the Malvern Hills is pretty full on. She's just an animal.
You said that.
I was
you
going
went
to say,
riding with
I
her.
thought this would be the answer, because
Yeah.
I rode with her recently and I couldn't believe it. Yeah, very impressive.
She's strong.
What's impressive? Like you said, she's like
Power,
crazy
it's
powerful.
crazy, yeah. I need to line her up against Blake, because the most powerful person I know is Blake.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do any training, he's just got massive rugby legs. So it'd be quite interesting to
But
see
she's
that.
also got this like dogged determination to like
Really?
get across that finish line ahead of him. So that'd be quite cool to see actually.
Is that what it takes? What does it take to be really great? Could you give us one answer? Like you've done it and you've trained people who now do it because you trained
It isn't
them.
one answer, sadly. It really is a combination of lots of things. You've got to have
We're knackered.
You've got to have skill. You've got to have there's just so many things. It's such a mixed bag.
Our sort of careers, well, I raced the same time as you a long time ago as well. From the start to almost, you went longer than I did, but I raced World Cup down and I almost got up there, nowhere near winning worlds, but I could get a top 10 on a good day, but I could nowhere near win a world champs. If you looked back, Tracy, what advice would you have given a young Neil?
Tricky one, but I would say like skill-wise and smoothness, Donny was like
so
incredible.
smooth.
Incredible.
You're still smooth.
So
still got it.
the 2 things I realise now looking back is fitness played a huge, or should have played a huge part of my career in those early days. It could be fitness, and I also think sometimes the mental confidence. Like you were always like
That was it.
just
for me.
this reserved
you're
Donny
right.
that think maybe quite.
It took me
believe
too
you can do
long
it.
to get the fitness, and I got it, and then my mental game. Some days I was like, F you, I'm going to do well, and I did.
Yeah.
And other times, like, oh, I can't do this. I'm like imposter syndrome. You line
Yeah.
up and there's Greg Minott, I'm like, oh, there's no chance.
I think looking back, whenever I can think of a result I had or didn't have, it was because of it was never because of an ability. It was because I'd decided or I'd agreed with a thought in my head.
A mindset.
I'd agreed with I don't think I can do it, or I'd agreed with I could do it. It's about like that. But how do you get in that place? You were saying, we had a really good chat in the podcast, you were saying about how it's important just to have really good fun and be sort of versatility, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think one of the hardest things is to just have that day in, day out pressure that you have when you're training and you're racing, and you need a break from that somehow. And keeping it fun, being with people that make it fun, and breaking up that routine, I think is also really important.
Right.
So again, there's no single answer, and everyone's very different, and everyone needs some slightly different way to tap into their full potential. It's just unlocking those keys, finding the right people to be with, and that's the hardest thing, I think.
I read that piece actually that you wrote, and you said, yeah, keep it simple, keep it fun. I look at many people's careers and think, yeah, people didn't quite get that, and that's why they didn't win as many races as they did. Even people that I know have won world champs, I think they overcomplicated a lot of what they did.
Yeah, that's easy to, I think.
And luckily, while me and Tracy were chatting in our podcast, we solved the one thing you should not do if you're not going to improve riding mountain bikes. If you do this thing, you won't improve.
All right.
What was it, Tracy? Tell him.
I can't remember.
You can't remember? It was routine. Don't let things turn into a routine. Same thing every day.
Oh, I thought you meant get a routine.
No, well, that was the problem, because you want to have a routine of riding a lot to be fit and strong, but you don't want to ride the same thing.
But that's the fun element, isn't it? It's keeping it fun, keeping it different, and like riding the same people, riding the same terrain. It doesn't challenge you. It doesn't start sparking new interests and new challenges.
And the podcast was amazing, and me and Tracy had a really good chat. And here's a little clip of what we got up to if you want to see some more. I mean, I don't know how to view this, because obviously not being a woman, how do you view that? Like, how important is finding out there's equal pay for women in a mountain bike race?
Oh, it's massive, because it's been such a, historically the sport, there's never been as many women taking part as men, and I don't think we're probably ever going to change that in the recent or the upcoming time. I hope it will in long term, but I can't see it happening short term, because there's just not the same amount of women that are prepared to. There's probably 50% women riding now at bike parks. You can go. It's a massive number of women, and slowly they're going to get to racing. But at that high level, that's going to take a long time to get there. So it's always been tough, I think, to kind of argue this case of we should have equal prize money when the field size is hugely different, and maybe the following of the sport is such a male-dominated sport. But we are 50% equal in terms of men and women on the planet. The girls out there are putting in the same effort in terms of training, risk taking, pushing the boundaries, which we've seen now with the girls with the free ride. It's been awesome, and it's almost like they've had to do that themselves to push that. It's not been like the industry's not been saying please come and race. They've had to say we want to do this. Please take it seriously.
Yeah, so I want to send a front flip.
Exactly. So they've had to almost work harder just to be noticed, to be seen, and to be respected. Who's
best, Hattie or Evie?
In terms of what?
I don't know. You've just got to say who you think's best.
They're so different in their skill set.
This is recorded.
That you couldn't compare them because they're so different.
Tracy, you've got to say who you think's best.
You've got to give me a parameter at something. You can't just.
No, I mean generally.
They're the best at.
Well, you've got to generalise who's best.
At what? If you said climbing.
How do I get an answer out of you?
They're too different to even put in that same category, I think.
Well, climbing has got to be Evie.
Yep.
So who's best at descending at the moment?
Hattie.
It is Hattie.
Yeah. I mean, if you put them on a cross-country bike, on a cross-country course, I'd probably say that it'd be hard for Hattie to pull away from Evie much, because Evie's pretty bang on now on her XC bike. But if you went to more like an enduro style stuff, Hattie'd be much happier going high speed and attacking stuff more aggressively and
it seems
jumping
unfair
stuff.
to compare the two. But you're this common denominator, and I can't help myself. It was a good chat, wasn't it? We enjoyed ourselves. It was very funny. It was sort of reminiscing. Lots of fun. If you want to see more of the podcast, hit the link in the description down below. Enjoy. We've got lots of podcasts out there, so make sure you get involved. Right, it's time for Hacks and Bodges.
Martyn, they're both hacks this week. I'll say that now because I got slated the other week for saying something was a bodge, and people are like, no, that's a hack.
Really?
I'm too critical, I think.
Start us off then with
I think these are definitely hacks, because check out this one from Lawrence. So on a coil shock, on an air shock, it's really easy to measure your sag because you've got a rubber ring normally. So, you just measure how far it's gone. But on a coil shock, you don't have that. So Lawrence has 3D printed this travel indicator using a biro, a zip tie, cloth tape measure, and a wall plug.
This is next level.
It looks better than it sounds, because that works, I'm sure.
It's like some telemetry thing. That
it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Homemade telemetry.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That's very good. That's definitely a hack. I've got another. I think this is a hack. This is brilliant. Yeah. Tracy, you're going to love this, because right up your family street right now. Look at that. It is from Xavier. It's a homemade shotgun. So kids ride shotgun setup.
Yeah.
It looks like it's made of gaffer tape.
No, old saddle.
He's put a really old saddle on there.
Metal hardware and a lot of electrical tape. I guess that kind of makes me think it's a bodge now. A lot.
Well,
what's it sitting on? Is it like a sponge, like a brick or something it's sitting on?
Would you put little Toby on that?
Probably not, because...
Does that make it a bodge? I might make it a bodge if you wouldn't use it.
It's hard to know. It could be sturdy if they're little.
It's scary, isn't it?
Bit of bar tape.
Wouldn't fancy doing any little drops.
They are good though, aren't they? You must have one of these star setups on your bike.
Amazing.
So good.
Yeah.
Riding
So
around
much
until
fun.
they start chinning you.
Yeah, he's getting too tall.
Yeah.
I've got to like ride on my fingertips
Yeah.
just to be able to reach around.
Well, I mean, we've got to choose a winner for Hacks and Bodges, but this week I think we've got a clear winner because I think the 3D printed telemetry from Lawrence is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I would
So
agree. That's pretty good.
we are going to send a GMBN race top your way, Lawrence. Congratulations. If you've got a hack or a bodge that you would like to share with us and the world, then send it into the GMBN uploader. And you could be here next week winning yourself one of our lovely race tops. Not bad, eh?
One of yours. They're yours.
Yeah, that's actually mine, so you can't have them ones. But we will send you one in your size. Get involved in the show in the uploader down below.
New bikes. This is cool. I've ridden one of these. The Grand Canyon. It's the brand new On.
Yes.
Grand Canyon, from Canyon, should I say. So it's the hardtail e-bike. I use one of this. Great all-round bike. I use bike packing bags to go shopping. Took my boy to nursery, then took all the bags off and went for a proper off-road ride as well. So really good all-round e-bikes.
Yeah, absolutely cool bike. In some brand new colours as well. They've got a lovely cherry colour, which I really like. The smaller sizes come in 27.5, largers in 29. And there's quite a range of spec, but really good prices. So make sure you check that bike out. It's really cool.
argued that these are like SUV vehicles where you could use them for a bit of everything and still go for a proper ride the weekend if you wanted to.
Are you e-biking much at the moment, Tracy?
Yeah, it's our nursery vehicle. Again, taking the kids to and from nursery. Any family bike rides, I've succumbed to the.
They can do more. They can do more.
You can get these beer holster things to go over top tubes as well, so they can do more than just transport humans.
Yes, absolutely. Right, so some tech there for you, but it's time now to go into the caption contest. Okay, caption contest photo from last week was actually pretty cool. This is Tom Cardy and Blake on a, what is that, a BMX?
It's a
tandem?
BMX tandem, just when you thought tandems couldn't get any worse, Martyn. They've made a BMX one.
They made them with really twitchy small wheels.
Terrible inventions.
Yeah. Okay, first caption for this is, when Tom and Blake have a little spat, they still ride together, although facing different ways. Oh, that's kind of sad. They've had a little row.
Yeah. GM bros. Blake, when he got tired from riding the BMX tandem, hey, I'm tired, let me sleep on your back.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not great. Last one is from Metal Munchkin, and she says, when Tom says, let's do back-to-back runs, this was not what Blake had in mind. That's a hands down winner.
I like that one.
I was going to ask you to choose,
You've
but that's
already chosen, haven't
definitely
you, really?
there.
But,
That's
yeah.
definitely the winner.
Tracy, have you ever
Very
ridden
good.
a tandem?
Careful how you answer this next bit, because I got one.
Martyn
loves
I have.
this.
Not a fan, because unless I'm at the front, I'm a bit.
I'm not even a fan of the front. I went on a fat bike one once on the front. Terrible thing.
But definitely not on the back when you actually you just.
With him on the front.
Yeah.
I mean,
Someone
I've
else
made a
in charge.
terrible habit of asking everyone who comes on the Dirt Shed show to come and join me on a random tandem for a ride. And I was thinking, I shouldn't do that this week, but would you?
I would. If anyone's.
We could go and ride Malvern Hills.
See?
Amazing.
Let's do
I've
it.
never ridden there. Let's do that. Let's do that. We'll book that one in.
Yeah,
Book that in.
definitely.
It's Bosch Motor.
Perfect.
Perfect. Right, here's this week's caption contest photo. Take a look at that and give us a caption in the comment section down below, and you could be winning yourself a stunt mug next week, just like Metal Munchkin just did. Congratulations.
Right, into some things we liked from this week. First one is Michael Kosick sending it on the handbike. Holy
Have you
moly.
seen this, Tracy? It's crazy.
It's a big double, and then he lands and sort of cranks out of it. That's
Oh my god,
mental.
it's such a big move. I wouldn't do it.
Oh, look at those.
Yeah, when there's a still of it in the air,
That trajectory. What?
Three-wheeler as well. Imagine if one wheel hits a...
that's brave.
It's
That's
cool.
brave.
That's
Being an
impressive.
adaptive rider myself, I'm not sure I'd have sent that, Michael, but very impressive. Very impressive indeed.
Festival news, we've got Tom Cardy joining us and Chris Ackrig, and more surprises to come.
Yeah, Cara Beale as well,
Yeah.
who's going to be hanging out. I'm really excited about Tom Cardy, okay?
I am excited about it, but I'm more excited about the DJs. Have you heard, Martyn, who's coming?
No, I'm not a
There's a
DJ
few.
knower, really.
A-Skills, DJ Yoda, Norman
good.
J.
I've heard that.
You heard of that one? It's going to be good.
Yeah,
Quite
we heard of DJ Yoda. That was
I've
that
seen-
sounds pretty
I've seen
blooming
him a
good.
few times before.
Sounds pretty good. But you know why I'm excited about Tom Cardy coming, right? Because he is a car park trick meister.
Yeah.
And he is going to be in the Park Fermi of our festival, and he's going to get bored at some point and start doing loads of cool tricks.
It's not going to get bored because there's DJs, there's tech talks,
Yeah, what am I
there's
talking about?
riding.
Yeah,
there's
he's not getting
beers.
bored. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. The Global Bike Festival. Get your tickets and come along.
16th to 19th of June in Salbach.
God, I'm looking forward to it. We're all going. We're all going.
Salbach.
Busy? Busy? You want to come?
I think I might be in Europe then, actually. So yeah.
Never know. Tracy
Put it
Moseley might be
diary.
there as well.
Let's finish it off with a crazy over the bars that Sam Pilgrim sent us.
Yo! Oh! Oh my god! Yo! Oh my god! Yo!
Oh my God, this is crazy. It's Georgia Mac. Going through these trails, I'm
good.
pretty frightened by this.
Absolutely bucked to smithereens.
It's one of those crashes where you just think, how on earth did she get out of that alive? And she just pops up, super happy. Have a
little
look,
bit stunned,
Tracy. See what you
maybe.
think.
Yeah, I reckon.
I mean, she rides
cool
great.
spot, isn't it? It's going
Rides great, and then whack!
We've all done it.
Does it take you back? Does it take you back?
Dirt jump days.
Slovenia all over again.
Oh, yeah.
Slovenia 98.
Yeah.
I tell you something else we've got to mention as well. Things I like this week is our brand new GMBN hoodie, limited edition. Here's Rich to tell us a bit more about it.
Check it out, GMBN's new Epic Ride hoodie, now available for pre-order over in the GMBN shop. And look at that, fresh new decals, front and back. Perfect to wear before or even after a big old epic ride. I know that's what I've been doing. But anyway, Mark, back to you with a few more details.
Yes, limited edition, and it's only available while stocks last.
So limited, I haven't got one.
Yeah, well, none of us have got one. Literally, Rich is the only guy. So if you want one of those, get on the GMBN shop and pre-order it now.
Coming up on GMBN this week, we've got a cracker on Sunday. It's a bit of a mad one. This might be a spoiler, but Rich tries to ride from the north coast of Wales to the south in 24 hours. Does he make it? It's massive.
Yeah, it's a
through
big
the
ride.
night, obviously. Yeah.
It's a big ride. We
It's a
were
good
all
video.
following him on a WhatsApp message
Yeah,
board, and it was
we had a tracker, didn't he? See it?
dramatic. We've also got Mythbusters coming up, so if you ever want to find out all the myths of mountain biking, that's coming up too. And also Fails of the Month, Tracy. Amazing fun. We're going to see lots of people just getting away with it, just about. Right, bike vault time. Let's take a look at your bikes. Neil's got the bell. First bike is from Harold.
Harold Ragley Umbop. Wow, after the Hanson song. I don't know, 2021. Manitou Matuk Pro Fork Industry 9 Hydro Hubs. This is in Singapore. Wow.
It's nice. I like the colourways.
Local jump
Bit
spot.
matching.
But yeah, it's nice.
Manitou's underrated. I've not tried.
The pedals could be at 3 o'clock.
Not the perfect.
It's not perfect. It's nice. It's nice, Neil.
Harsh.
Next up, we've got. Ooh,
Look at that.
it's the Joker's Santa Cruz.
I've just seen a bike like that colour that Blake has done a custom build.
Oh my God, yeah. That's coming up on next week's show.
The saddle, it ruins that for me. I'm
Does
sorry.
it?
Big time.
Oh, Ravi in Thailand.
It is fancy as well.
Gutted right
It's got
now.
SRAM access post.
Neil,
It's
imagine.
a Nomad CC. It's a fancy bike.
Imagine the World Downhill Champion saw your bike and said, "Nah, not into it."
Just the
You'd
saddle.
feel- you'd
Just the saddle.
You'd feel
We've
terrible.
got yellow Magura bits.
Imagine if he just changed the saddle. It would
Just
be all right.
ruined that guy's life.
Yellow, green, purple, red, and tan walls, Martin.
Yeah, it's an absolute mess. It's nice. Moving on. We've
Come on,
got
that's super nice. That is Jenna.
Jenna's Intense.
Intense carbine, 29er, DVO suspension. DVO, yeah, fancy.
Just look at those mountains.
It looks great, doesn't it? That's super nice.
Nice,
Isn't it?
inspiring
Go on, Neil.
bike,
Go on,
that
Neil.
is.
Hit the bell. Super nice. First one of the week. Next one is Lee's Orange Crush. Basic, but it
fun.
works.
Yeah, South Wales.
Yeah, that's near my house. That's pretty good.
High above Glencorrig Ponds on an amazing day to ride. Looks like it.
Tracy, go on, what are you giving it? Remember, you were really awful to Ravi.
No.
Orange Crush.
It's nice. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Peter's 2021 Norco site.
Wow, look. Sensational morning rides complete with koalas and kangaroos.
Oh yeah, I do want to ride there. I have to say.
Does anyone else think Norco pick really boring colours?
I think their bikes,
I like that red.
you know, Norco have improved a lot, I would say, in the last 20 years. That's a good looking bike. I wouldn't say they used to.
I like the look of the bike, just the colour's a bit.
I think it's well good.
Well, the
Saddle
bell's there,
matches,
Neil.
though.
Yeah,
So
I'm
good,
going
aren't we?
for super nice.
Wow. Okay. I can see how this is going. Ooh. Next up, we've got quite the common sale from Bex. This is a custom paint job.
I was going to say, it can't have been stock.
No, that is specially put together.
So it says, this bike was my first full suspension bike, bought for 478 quid on eBay. Bargain.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Have you ever had, how many custom bikes have you had, Tracy? You must have had some good
A
custom
few,
bikes.
yeah. Some good Worlds
Bikes?
ones.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So this one was
Very
inspired by Tiny Seagrave. You know, she does all the tie-dye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Very
So
cool.
that's super nice, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
super nice. Super nice. Next up, we've got...
Oh, I've seen that before. I feel like I've seen that car before.
I do too. I really do think we've seen that before. It's from Jared. It's a 2020 Orbea Occam in San Antonio in Texas.
Wow.
Oh, it says it's a rite of passage to find this trail and car, so I reckon we have.
I'm not sure what I'm super nicing or nicing.
I just think that we need Skeleton's missing a helmet, then up, bit of safety issue there. Helmet straps
I think that's the
undone.
last
Scott.
of that rider's
Yeah.
problems.
It's a safety issue.
Occam with it's got a pump strapped to the down tube.
What are you giving it, Neil? Last bike.
Nice.
Nice. We're out of the bike vault. Have you got a bike?
I've got a bike.
Would you like to have us say if it's nice or not? If so, send it into the bike vault. That didn't sell it, did it? Send it into the bike vault. The GMBN loader is down in the description. We'd love to see your bikes. We actually look at all of them, but we can only show a few. But send them in, and we might be giving you a nice or a super nice next week. Right, that's it for the show. We're done. We're out of time. Tracy, thank you very much for coming along.
No worries.
Great show, and the podcast was a good laugh, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So
it was
if
great.
you want to hear more from Tracy in that podcast, make sure you hit the link in the description down below and see what she had to say about all sorts of things. She even said who she likes most out of Hattie, Harden and Evie Richards. It was quite a shock, Hattie. I'm kidding. Neil, thanks for joining us.
Cheers, mine.
We'll see you next week on the Dirt Shed Show. Make sure you love, like and share. Bye.